Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, but also welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today I wanted to talk about just everything I ate in Paris. I know throughout my vlog videos you could see some of the places I went to eat, but also I didn't record all of the places that we ate because I only took screenshot photos, but I definitely wanted to show you everywhere I went in case you are curious, or for folks who are interested in going to Paris anytime soon. I wanted to also show you recommendations. And here's the thing, most of the recommendations that we have gotten, or I have gotten on this entire trip, was from locals. So I either got them from my boyfriend's cousin, or my friends from Paris, or from the hotel receptionist at my hotels that I stayed at. So I'm super excited to just run down the line of everything I ate, and throughout the video I'm gonna also insert pictures so you can also look at them, see if they entice you and all that. Now before I start, I want to say that it's actually I didn't need to make any reservations during the weekday when I went to these restaurants. However, on Saturday it was completely booked, like everywhere. At least a 5-mile radius was completely booked on Saturday, so I highly recommend you make a reservation for Saturday. So the first day I went to a restaurant called viet-american. So that is located near the Opera House, and it's majority ramen. But however, when I saw like my neighbors and see what they ate, it's like Japanese food but also Asian fusion. So I saw a lot of crab fried rice option, I saw a lot of noodles option that isn't ramen specific, but we got ramen because that was what was highly recommended. So, and here's the tip for people who are going to Paris on Sunday. A lot of the restaurants actually close earlier that day, and dessert places as well. So we had dessert at viet-american as well. And yeah, overall this place is really good. The next day, so if you're at Disney, it's really far from Paris. So we ate actually in the Disney village after Disney parks closed, and we went to Rosalie, and I got the set menu where it has like a starter, the entree and a dessert. And also because when you're walking around Disney you are pretty hungry, so I got the escargot, I got the salmon with the puree, and then I also got a creme brulee. This place was actually delicious. This was my first time having French food, and I gotta say it tastes like French food because it was delicious, and I would go back actually again. The service was okay because it's always busy post the fireworks at Disney, but it was absolutely delicious. And it's a little bit more expensive because we are in Disney Village, but it's also so much better than the food at Disney, at least the grab and go food. The next place that we went, which is the next day, was Hanoi Cafe, which is a Vietnamese fusion of food. So for example, it had pho, but it was like done really pretty, and there was carrots in the pho, so to cater to, I guess, the general public. There is also dumplings, but it has cheese and truffle in it. And the cocktails were really good, but they're so fancy. Like I got the Vietnamese, I think, mule. So there was lime, lemongrass, and all that. It was absolutely delicious, but it was not, I wouldn't say it was authentic Vietnamese food. But it was definitely inspired by Vietnamese food as well. And then for dinner, we went to Les Maisons de l'Abrac. I may be butchering the name, but it was a steakhouse. So we wanted to have steak and frites, of course, and let's just say that place was delicious. We had pho qua, both the cooked version and the raw version. I had bone marrow, which is very fatty, and I had steak and frites with their pepper sauce. It was absolutely delicious. Keep in mind, for people who are going there, their medium is more like a medium rare. So I love rare steak. I love medium rare steak, and they've done it perfectly. But for people who prefer like a more well cooked, keep that in mind when you're in Paris. I think I'm also going to put where it's near like a landmark, so kind of give you the gist of where I was also, but also if you're in that region and you're hungry in Paris, you can definitely go visit that place. And then for dinner we had Le Progrès, which is near the Sacré-Cœur, and overall it was really funny because that place was the only crowded place compared to anything around it, which kind of shows you that the locals go there as well and it's not a tourist trap. And I gotta say, the space is really tiny, but the food was really good. And this is a French cuisine, so I got beef tartare, I got as my main dish, and I also got some oysters. I got oysters from a different region than the one I had in Rosalie, which is in the Disney Village, and they're really delicious as well. I just realized that whole night I just ate a bunch of raw stuff, but the raw meat in Paris is really good. We went to an izakaya, which is near the opera house as well. It's of course on that Japanese street, and because I was craving udon that day and it was absolutely delicious. The presentation was delicious. We also got beer. I want to say that 50 cl is actually a lot of beer for people who don't drink a lot of beer, so I always upgrade because sometimes I feel like 25 is too little, but 50 is definitely a lot. So then for pastries, if you see, I went to the Aki pastries, and also we went to Joseph. So that's like Japanese inspired French pastries, but there's also French pastries. I'm definitely gonna put pictures of it as well. Overall they're both great, but if you want real French pastries, it would be Joseph. And then if you wanted just Japanese stuff inside French pastries, you do Aki. But they do have mochi, but they had like a matcha creme brulee, which is very inspired, and they had a beignet, but inside had matcha filling instead of the regular typical creme. And then this other next day, for lunch we had banh mi, and it's through a corridor, but through like many smaller shops and restaurants. And we noticed that street where we got the banh mi, most of the places are only open for lunch. They don't open for dinner and everything, so they just had a lunch, and they had a lunch menu where you can get a dessert, a banh mi, and a drink. So highly recommend that place. That place is really good. It's one of the top banh mi places in my entire life. So highly recommend that. And it was good price as well. I don't know exactly. I'll put the price margins in each screenshot or each part of the video, but that's that. And then for dinner, we actually had dinner at our hotel restaurant. That place is actually really crowded, even if you didn't live in the hotel, but we had that restaurant Revie. This is definitely on the more expensive side, our entire food experience, but it was really good. But I didn't actually take pictures, but if you are adventurous, they had stuff. Like I ate frog legs, I ate mussels and fries, and yeah. So all I gotta say, that place is really good. Definitely a lot more expensive. For example, I've noticed that escargot, which would usually be around $12, was around $14 or maybe $16, and a wine bottle at the other restaurant would be around maximum 30, versus here was around 48 euros. So keep that in mind. However, you're staying in the hotel and you have an American Express Platinum card, it will be waived off if you stay at the Hoxton. So that's what made it worth it. If not, I personally would have went to another place around the hotel. But overall, the food there was really good. It was another French restaurant. Our second to last day in Paris, but our last full day, we had to try Caribbean food. Okay, we went to a Caribbean bistro called Bukan, and it was actually really good. We had akras, and I got a chicken dish, and it was really delicious. That's all I gotta say. I hope you see the video. If you notice that it's like kind of like the whole chicken thigh with the puree, and it's quite affordable. I think it's around 25 euros per person. So yeah, keep that in mind. But it's really delicious. Of course, I'm also gonna put where the district or where the location is, but it's near the Republic. So I want to keep that, let you know that, keep that in mind, because that's where usually most of the protests happen. So if there's a protest, that place might be hard to get to. So, but overall, that place was really good. The place is small. It actually tastes like the food that I had in the Caribbean, so it was really nice to have that. And last but not least, we had pizza on the last full day. If you saw my last video, and that was just through an Uber Eats. I'm gonna pull up all the information. It was actually pretty decent pizza, and they had a buy one get one, so it was only around 17 euros for two individual pizzas. So I thought that was pretty affordable compared to everything we ate previously. Yeah, it was really good. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you actually go to Paris and you actually really enjoy the food that I just recommend. But everything we ate was so good. Nothing was bad. So yeah. Alright. Bye everyone.